What's going on, guys? Jesse here, back to my channel. Tonight I'll be doing a review for our WWE Monday Night Raw and stuff. And yes, as you can tell, I did shave and stuff. And Gomez got did shave and stuff. But yeah, gotta get ready for something tomorrow. But anyways, let's go and get to it then. Um, all right, so Cody kicks off Raw for for a segment. The theme for Cody Rhodes plays, and out comes the American Nightmare to kick off this week's show. He asks San Antonio what they like to talk about. He then mentions how he liked to talk about how he's facing Roman Reigns, the greatest champion company history, on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania 40. Unfortunately, he's got this one outstanding issue with guy named The Rock. He talks about how The Rock released a 16-minute video about him, deleted it, and 5 minutes later reposted a 21-minute video. He says The Rock then went on SmackDown and called everyone meth heads and talked about his dog. He looked in the camera and warned him not to talk about his dog. Yeah, I'll be pissed off if someone talks about shit about my dog. Cody says the biggest headline is that The Rock did not accept this challenge for a singles match. He says he spun that and presented a whole new challenge like the master politician he is. He says no wonder people want The Rock to run for office. He says it is true they had a talk and mentions how Rock said the people don't want Cody versus Roman. They want Rock versus Roman. He says then something interesting happened because the fans chanted something else. The fans in the arena cut him off with a loud "We want Cody" chant. He mentions how The Rock then called all of you Cody crybabies. He asked if there are any Cody crybabies in the house. Um, Everyone pops. He then brings up Rock's tag team challenge for WrestleMania 40. With that said, he says it's time for his friend Seth freaking Rollins to come out. The theme for the WWE World Heavyweight Champion plays, and now he comes wearing all yellow, bright ass yellow. He sells in the ring, and his music dies down. But the fans keep singing. He welcomes us to Monday Night Rollins as always. Rollins asks Cody what he's thinking. Cody brings a Seth offering to have his back, heading into his fight with the Bloodline. He mentions how Rollins was there, then The Rock slapped him, and even with the bum knee and back, he continues to be there for him. He mentions other than Reigns, his only loss has been to Drew McIntyre. He says if Rollins wants to focus on Drew, he understands. Seth says while he respects Cody, giving him the out and can handle Drew McIntyre. He says he mentioned last week on there are some things bigger than us. He says taking down the Bloodline is the biggest thing they can do. It's not just Cody's story that needs to get finished at WrestleMania 40. It's his too. Seth says he entered WWE over 10 years ago with Reigns with a goal of taking the power and spreading it to the people. He says Reigns wants all the power and he wants to keep it all for himself. He says they are this close to Reigns having absolute power. Now The Rock has joined him in the bloodline. Seth says he's over The Rock. He's not sure about San Antonio. Fans chant Rocky sucks. Good thing they didn't chant Die Rocky Die. Ron says he hasn't been the Rock for a long time, and damn sure hasn't been the People's Champ for a long time. He says he's not gonna call him these things anymore. He thinks he's gonna call him something different from now on. He mentions Rudy Poo, and the fans chant Diarrhea Dwayne, which means Rock is talking shit. He asks if Rock is serious, being on Instagram for over 20 minutes. Rollins brings up how The Rock claimed he can snap his fingers and make the WWE World Heavyweight Championship go away. He says The Rock mentioned being his boss because of his job in TKO. He dares Rock to try and take it from him. He brings up how The Rock claimed he made wrestling cool again. Diarrhea Dwayne, you haven't been. Oh, shit, hold on, guys. I'm sorry, something popped up. God damn it. Hold on, guys. Daria Dwayne, you haven't been cool for about 20 years, pal. He then mentions how cool today, although he has been 100% medically cleared. Um, he says he'll be at SmackDown this Friday to confront the Bloodline. He says he told Cody he's got his back in this fight with the Bloodline, so he wants to ask him, does he have his back? Cody pauses and says to answer his question, he also has a message for The Rock. He looks into camera and tells The Rock it's been long time since he hasn't had something just handed to him. He says he's not gonna whine in a 21-minute promo. He's gonna come to SmackDown and stand alongside Rollins and stand across from the Bloodline in the grand state of Texas. And this Friday, he'll give him face to face his very clear and obvious answer for what's happening at WrestleMania 40. He throws his mic down and his theme plays to end the segment. Alright, the first match is Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio. We see Dominic Mysterio stretching backstage as he prepares for his showdown against the Ring General Gunther. When we return on that note, we head to a quick commercial break. We return from the break. We see During Dom in the ring with JD McDonough of the Judgment Day in his corner at ringside. The theme for Imperium hits next, and now comes the longest reigning WWE Intercontinental Champion in history for our opening match of the evening. The bell sounds are officially all running with this one. Gunther controls things early on, but then Dom surprises Gunther with a chop of his own that echoes throughout the Frost Bank Center. The crowd gasps at that. Gunther dominates from then on, taking it to the Judgment Day member. He regroups at ringside with McDonough as we head into a mid-match commercial break. When we return, um, we see much of the same until McDonough gets on the apron to distract Gunther, which allows Dom to drop kick the Ring General out to the floor. Dom hits a big chop on Gunther, but then runs into a big lariat. Gunther gets a Boston Crab and gets the tap for the win. Gunther won the match. So yeah, the winner is Gunther. Alright. Backstage, we see Damage Control walking and laughing with Dakota Kai, gloating about what they did to Bailey. Raw GM Adam Pearce as what they're doing here. Kai reminds them that the undisputed women's tag champs can go to either brand, but then mentions they're here to scout Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler after them challenging them. Shinsuke Nakamura approaches the Raw GM and wants to talk to Pearce. Says he's got an Intercontinental title announcement later tonight and says they can go talk. We head to another commercial break after this wraps up. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Second match is Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. As we settle back in from the break, we see Andrade El Idolo arriving in the building with his gear. Michael hypes his Raw debut later tonight. Back inside the arena, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter are in the middle of making their ring entrance. Already in the ring are their opponents, Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. We see an earlier tonight interview with Chance and Carter, who talk about losing the titles to Boogie Warriors and how they plan to get them back at WrestleMania 40. Back live, the bell ring sounds official on this one. Baszler and Chance kick things off for their respective teams. Baszler controls the action early on, isolating the arm of Chance and working it over. She tags in Stark, who picks up where she left off. Damage Control are shown watching the action up and close and personal at ringside. Stark talks to Damage Control from the ring as we head to a mid-match break. When we return, we see some more back and forth action. Chance hits a wild 450 splash off the top rope, but the victory is stolen by Stark. Moments later, Stark and Baszler will get the win. After the match, Damage Control confronts Stark and Baszler. They say after they win at Roadblock, they're gonna beat them and send them off crying like they did to Bailey. Baszler says they'll see them next week. So winners are Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Our next match is Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. When we return, we see Dom backstage recovering from his match with Gunther with the rest of the Judgment Day. Damian Priest lays out marching orders for the members, which includes JD McDonough getting retribution on Gunther. Back inside the arena, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee set up a video package looking at the history of the Becky Lynch and Nia Jax rivalry. After it wraps up, Becky Lynch's theme hits, and out comes the man in her ring gear, ready to do battle against her longtime nemesis. Nia Jax's theme hits, and next, and out she comes for this one-on-one showdown. Cole points out Jax has never lost in singles action against Lynch. The bell sounds, and we're fresh off running with this one. We see some general back and forth action early, and then Nia settles into offensively. She connects with a big hip attack in the corner, and then does a Rikishi stink face to Lynch. We head to a mid-match commercial break as the action continues. When we return, uh, we see Lynch firing up, but Nia cuts her off and grounds her. She heads to the middle rope and connects with the leg drop for a close pin attempt. Nia looks for her finisher, but Lynch avoids it. Lynch looks for the disarm her, but Jax pulls herself and Lynch out to the floor. She ragdolls Lynch on the floor. Liv Morgan appears out of nowhere and leads off the barricade to attack Nia. Cole reminds us the opposite happened last week when Lynch interfered in Liv's match with Nia. Liv and Lynch bicker face to face in the ring. Nia pulls them both out and slams them on the floor. It leaves them laying. Jax's theme plays, and she heads to the back and as fans boo. So the winner is no contest. So nobody won the match. All right, Ricochet is shown talking with Anna Pierce backstage. With Pierce assures him everyone will hear his Intercontinental title announcement later tonight, and comes the Judgment Day, who said J.D. McDonough deserves a shot at Gunther's title. McDonough starts to make his pitch, but we cut right to commercial as he's talking. Alright, Becky Lynch confronts Liv Morgan when we return. The two agree to a match for next week's show. Rhea Ripley walks to Lynch, who is still worked up. She stops and laughs before walking on. Alright, next match is Andrade versus Apollo Crews. Man, I haven't seen Apollo Crews in a long time. A video package airs to promote our main event for tonight between main event Jey Uso and the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. We then return inside the Frost Bank Center, where Andrade makes his way out to the ring in a mask. He takes the mask off and settles in the ring as we head to a commercial. When we return, Cody Rhodes' appearance at WWE World is announced, as is the special episode of the Pat McAfee show from WWE World during WrestleMania 40 weekend. From there, Adam Pearce announces Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bronson Reed, JD McDonough, and Chad Gable will all compete next week to find out who will earn the shot at Gunther for the IC title at WrestleMania 40. It will be a gauntlet match to determine the challenger next week on Raw. Back live, Andrade is still in the ring, waiting on the arrival of his opponent. Apollo Crews theme hits, and now he comes for this singles match showdown. The bell sounds and we're off we go. Andrade hits an offensive showcase for a couple minutes en route to an easy victory. The Judgment Day were shown watching the entire time. So the winner is Andrade. Alright, the next match is the Judgment Day versus Imperium. Sami Zayn is backstage with Jackie Redmond. He talks about how he knew a path to WrestleMania would present itself. He says this IC gauntlet next week is it, as he continues to talk. Ivar and Valhalla, while the two have wars and a match is set for later tonight. Ivar tells Zayn he won't make it to next week. Back inside the arena, undisputed WWE World Tag Team Champions Damian Priest and Finn Balor, the Judgment Day, make their way out to the ring. They will do battle against Imperium next. All that, and we had to pretty much commercial break. Alright. When we return, we see Natalia and Tegan Knox talking when it comes Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. They talk with Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree, who comes in, and LeRae takes offense to Dupree, trying to give her advice. Back in the arena, Imperium's theme hits, and out comes Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. The bell sounds we're officially off and running this one. We see Priest and Balor start off strong. However, Kaiser and Vinci start to take over as we head to mid-match break. When we return, we see Vinci and Kaiser still dominating the action. A loud "Let's Go Balor" chant breaks out, even though McAfee mentioned at the start of the match how everyone is Imperium fans for one night in San Antonio because they want to see the Judgment Day's losing streak to continue this evening. After Dom's loss to fellow Imperium member Gunther earlier in the show, Priest finally gets the hot tag and goes while taking it out Kaiser and Vinci by himself. Balor hits the ring again, and the two hit some double team spots. Eventually, it connects with his South of Heaven finisher for the win. After the match, Cole and McAfee announced Paul Heyman as the first inductee for the class of 2024 at the WWE Hall of Fame. So the winners are I'm sorry. The winners are the Judgment Day. All right, next match is Sami Zayn versus Ivar. Jackie Redmond is backstage with Drew McIntyre. She first congratulates Paul Heyman on his WWE Hall of Fame induction, and then asks the Scottish Warrior if Seth Rollins took his advice about the bloodline seriously. He says no. He says Seth is a spotlight junkie. He explains why he thinks this and mentions how the WWE World Championship deserves better than Seth. It also deserves someone better than main event Jey Uso, who he says just needed to give him a simple apology, but couldn't do it. He says he's gonna make him pay tonight. Back inside the arena, Sami Zayn's theme hits, and out he comes to the ring for our next match of the evening. As he sells into the ring, we shift gears and head to a quick pre-match commercial break. When we return, we see Rhea Ripley confront Io Sky, telling her to stay out of her territory. Sky laughs and walks off with damage control. Ivar's theme hits, and out he comes with accompanied by Valhalla, who is wearing her antlers. Michael is in heaven and acting like it. Valhalla comes over and jumps on the commentary desk and puts the antlers on Michael Cole's head for a huge pop huge pop and Michael chant from the San Antonio crowd. Pat McAfee tells him he looks like an asshole. Larry, he says that's what I heard from. That's what I thought he said, which is funny. Larry, he said the full word. Meanwhile, Zayn and Ivar are brawling back and forth in the ring as Zayn hits a big diving splash on to Ivar from the ring to the floor. We head to a mid-match commercial break as the action continues. When we return from the break, McAfee immediately points out how ridiculous Cole looks wearing Valhalla's antlers on his head. Still, Ivar goes for a moonsault, but Mrs. Zayn follows up with the Haluva kick for the pinfall victory. Bronson Reed attacks Zayn after the match. So the winner is Sami Zayn. Alright, Drew McIntyre versus main event Jey Uso. It's main event time, finally. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Gunther. She asks him about his match against Dominic Mysterio earlier tonight. He says he spoke at Big Game last week and step up. He says he'll give him that, but says he never questioned the outcome. Gunther is asked about the gauntlet last week. Chad Gable walks up and says he's sick of the smirk. Gunther's face, he says he can't forget the tears in his daughter's eyes after their match. Their last match, he vows to take the title from Gunther's shoulder. He put it on his waist, and he says he's gonna take the smile from Gunther's face and put it on his daughter's face. We then see main event Jey Uso warm up backstage. He talks into the camera and says a message to Drew McIntyre ahead of their main event tonight. He says Drew wants an apology, so he's sorry. He's sorry for what he's gonna do to him tonight. He puts on a pair of sunglasses that say "Yeet" on them. We head to a break. When we return, we see R-Truth, The Miz, and the New Day and DIY playing WWE 2K24 to promote its release this coming Friday. Miz talks about the ideas everyone in the room pitched to get back at the Judgment Day. Miz says they need to hit them where it hurts and take their titles. They put their fists as Regeneration X to close out the segment. Back inside the arena, Pat McAfee gets his telestrator out to walk us through Michael's goofy ass antlers as a way of explaining why he's got antler juice lines all over his forehead. In addition, Gauntlet and Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan wins tag about pitting the Kabuki Warriors against Baszler and Starks is announced for next week. The theme for main event Jey Uso hits, and now he comes as Pat McAfee loses his mind doing yeet chants and warm waves with the crowd while standing on his desk. The theme for Drew McIntyre hits, and now comes the Scottish Warrior to a loud mix bag reaction that leans negative. He sells in the ring, and the bell sounds to get our final match of the evening for Michelle running. After the match spills out to the floor, we head to a mid-match commercial break. When we return, we see the Scottish Warrior dominating the majority of the action, which has resumed back inside the ring. After this continues for several minutes, the fight spills out to the floor again as the two hit the commentary desk. Jay ends up hitting a big suplex to Drew McIntyre on the floor at ringside as we head to another mid-match advertising timeout. When we return this time, we see the two duking it out in the ring as Uso starts to take over. He heads to the top for the Uso splash when Solo Sikoa comes through the crowd and distracts him. Cody ends up running out to help Solo. Uso takes it to Drew, and then we see Jimmy Uso hit the ringside area through the crowd. Then it distracts Jay again, who walks into a Claymore kick from Drew and for the pinfall. Drew's theme hits as Jimmy Uso grabs a chair and heads into the ring with it. He gets ready to attack his brother when Seth Rollins' theme hits. Rollins brings to the ring and takes out Jimmy to make the save. Rollins turns around into a Claymore kick from McIntyre. He gets in Seth's face again, warns him that his focus should be on him and their title match. The fans loudly chant CM Punk as Michael Cole is wrapping up. We cut off as he is in mid sentence. That's how this week's show come out. Okay, so the winner is Drew McIntyre. So it was a good show and stuff, but the fine part was, this Michael Cole wearing the antlers and stuff. So that was the best part and stuff. And so yeah, Pat McAfee also was good and stuff, but it was an okay show, all that stuff. But yeah. Anyways, it was alright. But yeah. So anyways, that was it for this video. If you enjoy it, if not, whatever, I don't care. But like, subscribe, favorite, and all that stuff. If you don't, I don't care either. But anyways, that was it for this video, and I'll see you all next time. Laters.